I do not own this. I'm just borrowing it to make a video about it. So, this is a topper, also called a keepa fall, also called an integration fall, and I'll show you why. So, here's the inside of the cap. As you can see, it's very small. It is roughly the size of a kippah or yarmulke, and it has you can see that this part is a multi-directional skin top. These are just some extra wefts, not multi-directional, and so this has a skin top. A topper is designed to integrate to be worn with someone's hair rather than a full wig. So here was the cap, right? Just to contrast, I wanted to show you the cap of a full wig. So as you can see, here is a full wig cap, and if I turn this inside out, you can see that here's the skin top in this section, and then there's an entire cap that stretches here because it's designed to cover the entire head and all the hair tucked inside. But with the topper, it's designed just to lay on top of a person's head, and there's no back to it, so it doesn't actually cover the back of your head. It's just sits on top. Toppers were originally intended to add thickness to people with thinning hair or thin hair or hair loss, but they have recently started to catch on in the Jewish sheitel world a bit, but that's mainly among the modern Orthodox women who cover their hair partially. You know, a lot of women will just wear like a hat, but they don't necessarily cover all their hair, they cover their head. So this is an idea of taking that same concept of like a hat, but it's basically a hat with hair. And so it is a covering. Doesn't necessarily cover all your hair, but it does cover your head. And if you are committing to covering your head in public at all times, it's useful to have a piece that will blend in with your natural hair. Another thing about a topper that's important is that because it's going to show your real hair, you have to get a topper that matches pretty closely. Color, texture, length. Now it can be a different layer, like if you had a longer layer it can just look like it's a shorter layer, but it kind of has to be integrated in that way. So that is one negative, I'd say, of it versus a regular wig, just in terms of ease of wearing, because you have to make sure it matches well enough. I'm going to show you how to do this. So this piece is manufactured by Aura Wigs. You can see here. It's made in Argentina. It is European human hair, kosher, and these are sold by a company. Aura Wigs is part of like Chavi. It's like an online wig store, and she can actually make custom pieces. You can send in like a hair sample, or you can choose from like a color chart, so you can get exactly what you're looking for if she doesn't happen to have one in stock for you. I'm actually going to put this on top of a sheitel right now, but it's the same idea. So a topper would just go on top of your hair like this, and there's clips here and there's clips here. This one has 4 clips, and this actually matches pretty well, so that's interesting. But as you can see, it's relatively a thin amount of hair, so it doesn't, like if I put my sheitel back and you just have the topper here in the front, I actually think it looks more natural than a sheitel in a lot of ways, in that it is thinner. I think most sheitels are extremely dense and have more hair than a regular person has, and it makes them look wiggy. A topper is a little bit thinner, and you can move them around. Because the caps are so small, you don't have to wear it in the same place. You can wear it like on the back, in the front. It's like wherever you want to wear it to integrate in with your own hair. And when it matches perfectly, it really blends so well that you really can't even tell the difference between your own hairline and where the topper begins. I've seen some people wearing toppers like on Facebook, and I didn't even think they were covering their hair because it looked so natural. So right now, as you can see, like you can't really tell where my shaitel ends and where this topper begins, because it's a pretty good color match in terms of just being light brown. And yeah, I mean, you can see that, like, okay, this is shorter, this is longer, but if your hair was shorter than the length of the topper or the same length, you wouldn't notice that. But even so, if this was just layered a little bit in the front, it would almost look like it's a styled layer on purpose like that. Alright, so here's the topper over my hair. And as you can see, you can't see like all of the hair, but a little does peek out like from the bottom, like this is, and it's kind of obvious in this particular situation because my hair is like wavy messy right now, and this fall is like sleek and straight and gorgeous. So the texture is not the same at all, and the color is not the same. So anyway, I'm holding down the front of my hair right here because if I let go, it's gonna frizz up. But I'll show you that since you can put it back a little bit from your hairline, you can achieve that very natural hairline look. That is what makes wigs look wiggy in the first place. So you definitely have to play around with these, and if you're wearing this, you have to spend time putting it on in the morning. I mean, like, it isn't just going to adjust naturally, but you can achieve a very natural hairline. And if the texture was right, like, okay, I know this looks really bad because it's not going the right way, but if everything was all parted and styled correctly, you can see, oh look, I have a hairline, and from this angle, it doesn't look so bad. From far away. So it could be done in a way that's very natural looking. And if I pull my own hair back so it doesn't fall forward, and you see just like the thickness of the topper here, I mean, I think that looks really good. Like, you could pretty much wear this as a wig if your hair was short, and just have it back, or if it's really short, like bobbed, it would just not be in the front anyway and showing.